Snakes? Snakes? I don't know no snakes. Welcome in to the Bro 4 Squad podcast, where we are just a bunch of bros, and tonight a girl, drinking beer and talking movies. This is episode 166, and I'm your host, the mayor, Jeff Pornisek. Before we get started with the movie discussion, let's go around and meet the fellow bros and woman. This is the first one. You have to be much more politically correct. First, we go in the lab to the mad
Shows you how
scientist.
many women we have on the show. We don't even know how to introduce them.
Lots. I've seen a vagina before.
I saw a boob. Well, it was the outline of a boob one time.
One
but-
time.
Silhouette. Yeah.
And it was in a dream, but I mean, still. First, we go in the lab to the mad scientist, Brian Banner. Banner, what's the greatest game show of all time?
Wow. That's tough. I would say, honestly, I think Survivor is at least in consideration. First off, the prize money alone, $1 million for a month and a half's worth of work. Yeah, sure, you gotta, shit in the woods and wipe your ass with leaves, but if you can make it, that's pretty good bang for your buck.
But that's a reality show.
We
It's a
should in the
game
woods
show.
and wipe our ass with leaves when we go camping anyway, so that's just
Yeah.
another weekend for us.
That's true.
Yeah, we do that.
I consider it a game show. They are competing for a prize, right?
That's
Yeah.
the definition of game show?
Sure, I'll go with that.
Competing for a prize?
I mean, for a sum of money at the end, that's what I would consider that a game show. What are you thinking? Like supermarket sweep?
I was thinking like Price is Right, supermarket sweep. Of course, it was brought on because tonight we're doing Jeopardy, I thought. But that's fine. How much does Survivor pay you to say that?
Doesn't matter.
Starts with a 7, I think, based on what I got out of you.
$73.
Worth it. Next, we go to the American hero, Nate Thurmond. Nate, are you still mad about the ending of No Country for Old Men?
Yeah, but surprisingly, I've kind of come around on it. I think it's a good movie in and of itself, and I can kind of put that behind everything else of the ending and how it just kind of ends, and you don't really know what's coming. But overall, well, hold on. You're asking me if I'm still mad. I'm still mad at the ending, yes, but I can kind of overcome that for the sake of the cinematography of everything. So
The rest of it is really good, but yeah,
I know it's a really good movie. It's just that
Never
last 2 minutes really pissed me off still.
I remember seeing that with you in theaters, and you were not happy. What is happening right now?
I'm sorry. It's probably me. It's fucking Skype.
definitely
It
you.
sucks. I'm just trying to get it to work. I'm
For
sorry.
those of you at home, Brian Banner, we're on Skype, and he just changed the background to, it looks like we're at a hibachi restaurant or something.
Um,
Or The Last Supper. I can't tell which it
Disappointed.
is.
I'm not seeing that on my side.
It's fine. Lastly, we go to our special guest, the
Uh-oh.
esteemed Mrs. Thurmond, who is joining us. Mrs. Thurmond, can you please tell the viewers at home that you are on this podcast of your own free will and not at all being forced to do so?
I don't. Yeah. I'm here.
Perfect. We can edit out the
That's the right answer.
uncertainty in the beginning.
we could.
And then
We
me
won't. But
mentioning
we
the
could.
uncertainty.
We could, but we're not going to.
Yeah, but one of us is going to have to spend 10 minutes on that afterwards.
Yeah.
All right, well, if you have not listened to our show before, we start every episode off with the most important thing in any bro's life, and that is chest day. And as you're listening to this, it is probably close to the date of November 8th, which November 8th, 2020, the world lost a legend and a great philanthropist and game show host, Alex Trebek. So if you go back to episode 133 of the Bro 4 Squad, we actually started what we said should be an annual tradition, and that's to honor the late Alex Trebek playing Movie Jeopardy on the podcast. Now, I don't remember who won last year. Was it you, Nate? It was you or Cycley, I think.
Not to toot my own horn, I think it was me. Yeah.
Okay.
There was some weird stuff. I'm gonna have to go back and re-listen to the episode, but Cycley was up there, and then he made a huge fumble near the end.
There was some weird, aggressive play.
I'm pretty confident in saying I was nowhere near the leader.
Hey, but you hustled the whole time. Ran out the ground balls. So tonight we will be playing Movie Jeopardy. pretty simple rules. I've made a Jeopardy board, which obviously we'll play through. We have 3 separate categories and a final Jeopardy question. And based on a random draw before the show, a la whenever I just started the game, it picked 3 random avatars, which I think you'll know who is who. You will be selecting questions in that order. Now, we've decided you can't lose money for getting a question wrong. So we'll have mercy, unlike Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. And after you miss a question, or if you miss a question, we will go in reverse order for someone to steal. So, like if Nate goes first, Mrs. Thurman goes second, and Brian goes third. If Nate misses a question, it would then be whoever went before him's turn to steal next. If it doesn't make sense, it's not that complicated. We'll figure it out, right?
It's our show. We can make our own rules.
All true. All right, if you guys are ready, I'm going to unveil the board to you on my shared screen. Can we all see it?
Yes.
I see it twice, but I'm pretty sure that's just my own fault.
Okay. So the avatars at the bottom, we have a pineapple, which I think should represent Nate Thurmond, a polar bear, and Mrs. Thurman. I was looking for a panda bear, but this is the closest they had. So
Good enough.
You'll be represented by the polar bear. And then a character named Aiden, who obviously is you, Brian.
Who
Clearly
looks confused, so very fitting.
Yeah. He kind of looks like you, though.
Yeah. When I got a little shorter hair, I could see the resemblance.
You're both white. Yes.
Step 1.
I have a black sweater.
These are the 3 categories we have. We have 2021 in film, where I will read you the plot synopsis for a movie that has come out this year, and you'll have to guess what it is.
No.
90s movies, that was pretty self-explanatory, and Big Time Rip, where I will ask you a question about a since deceased actor. Or actress.
Who is Rip Torn?
Damn it. All right, hey, thanks for playing. That was the $1 million catchphrase. If you just say that, the game ends.
Yes.
All right, so Nate Thurmond, we will begin with you. The board is wide open. Anything you want. Where do you want to start tonight on Movie Jeopardy Volume 2?
Let's go middle of the board. 90s movies for 300.
90s movies for 300. If he gets it wrong, we go to Mrs. Thurman to steal. Or do we go the other way?
No, it should go to me.
Other
Okay.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, for 300, you said?
Yeah.
90s movies for 300. Who is the actress who hasn't found success in the aughts that played Kat Stratford in 10 Things I Hate About You?
Okay, here we go. It is. Okay, who is Julia Stiles?
Wow, good job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who is Julia Stiles is correct. You're the pineapple. 300 points. Poor Julia.
Fun fact, that is a movie.
What is?
10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh. Those,
You're done.
Imagine like fucking with Alex Trebek that bad, and he's like, "What? I know."
All right, thanks everyone. I'm gonna go to bed now.
Or going on Jeopardy and feeling like you had the prerogative to just say fun facts at random times. Like, sir, this is a Wendy's. All right, so 300 points to Nate Thurmond. Mrs. Thurmond, you are up. Anything left on the board?
90s, 400.
90s movies for
Why are
400.
you looking at me?
Why not?
What 90s movie features a character named Sarabi who's kind of a nagging bitch?
Ugh. What is The Lion King?
That is correct.
Wow,
The
that's
Lion
a $400 question.
400.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, I regret inviting her on here, guys.
Brought a fucking ringer in.
Already.
How much is she paying you when she wins?
Half.
Oh, well, there you go. It's a win-win.
Nope, not happening.
Oh,
Can't
wow.
argue with that.
Brian Banner, what would you like to go with?
Let's go 90s 500. Let's just up the ante.
Wow, 90s movies for 500. We like this category. In The Truman Show, Jim Carrey's character ironically has a catchphrase he says to his neighbors, ironic because he doesn't know he's actually starring in a TV show. What is the catchphrase? Hint, it starts with good morning, and in case I don't see ya.
Good Bye? I don't know. I haven't seen this movie in 20 years.
Is goodbye your final answer?
I'm going to say it shouldn't be, but it is.
Fair
It
enough,
should
yeah.
not be, because that is incorrect. Mrs.
Yeah.
Thurman, you have a guess.
It's there, but I can't think of it. It's like if I don't see a goodbye, good night, and don't let the bed bugs bite. Nope.
I mean, that would have worked, yeah. Fortunately, no,
Close.
Nate.
Okay, hold on. I have this something in my head. It's pretty simple, but in case I don't see it, what is good afternoon and good evening?
I'm going to give that to you. It's good afternoon, good evening, and good night, or tonight is what he says.
I knew there was 3 things.
Oh, okay, close. I'll take the courtesy there.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad the $500 one was a little bit trickier. All right, back to Nate
Yeah,
Thurman.
300 and 400 are fucking softballs, and I get 500, and it's a...
So an update after one time through. Nate Thurman has $800, Mrs. Thurman $400, and Brian will probably steal this one, but he currently has 0. Nate, anything on the board? 2021 in film, 90s movies, or big time rip?
Okay, this might bite me in the ass, but let's go ahead and try and put a dagger in it. Or let's go 500 for big time rip.
Oh.
God, Hail Mary in the first quarter. Love it. Big time rip for $500. Before he was taken from us way too soon, this actor starred as both Thurgood Marshall and James Brown, among many others.
Wow, there's one on the tip of my tongue, and I cannot get it out.
Time's up. We need a guess.
Well, this is going to be who is Ray Charles?
I'm sorry, no. Brian Banner, do you have a guess?
I believe that was Chadwick Boseman.
That is the late, great Chadwick Boseman. Who also played Jackie Robinson among the biopic greats.
And I feel embarrassed. That's the name I was trying to get out, and I was put on the spot and could not get it.
At least you guessed something, you know. You took the hat off your shoulder.
Tried to yell Black Panther, but...
All right, so now we have a ball game. Nate Thurman has 800, Mrs. Thurman 400, and Brian Banner 500. Mrs. Thurman, the board is yours.
See, I have no idea what came out this year, but let's do 2021 300.
There you go. Love it. 2021 to film for 300. This is the plot synopsis. The world is stunned when a group of time travelers arrive from the year 2051 to deliver an urgent message. 30 years in the future, mankind is losing a global war against a deadly alien species. And you have seen this movie.
Yeah, that was what I was about to say. She's seen this, too.
And I think I spelled travelers wrong in the synopsis, so disregard.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did, too.
Don't focus
I've
on
seen
that.
This?
Yes.
Okay, that's all. I'm stuck on that now.
I'm not giving you any other hints, and since we were talking, I'll give you time is up, and we'll give 10 more seconds for you.
20.
Nate's
okay,
like, I will watch
deliver
the Browns.
urgent message.
Yeah.
30 years in the future. I mean, this is not Back to the Future because that came out years ago. But what is Back to the Future?
I'm sorry, no. Nate Thurman.
What is Tomorrow War?
Yes, the Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, and they drop in, and he goes into a pool on the top of the thing, and they have the aliens that shoot the things.
Was I awake for it?
Yeah.
Yvonne Strahovski is in it.
Oh my god.
Is that how you pronounce her name?
That's
he has
how
a daughter, and he goes in the future, and his daughter is like the scientist.
Oh, wait, what was it called?
The Tomorrow War.
Yeah, would never guess that.
At least you had the balls to go for that category finally. You know, everybody's been afraid of it. All right, $1,100 for Nate Thurman, $400 for Mrs. Thurman, $500 for Brian Banner. Brian, the board is yours.
Wow, you want some balls? All right, fine. 2021 in film, 500.
Jesus.
Yeah, I do want some balls.
I want more balls. All right, 2021 in film for 500. Mrs. Thurman, be ready to steal if he misses it. Again, this is the plot synopsis. Deputy Sheriff Joe Deke Deacon joins forces with Sergeant Jim Baxter to search for a serial killer who's terrorizing Los Angeles. As they track the culprit, Baxter is unaware that the investigation is dredging up echoes of Deke's past. I can't give you that hint. Never mind.
Was this released on a streaming service or was this a theatrical release? Can we ask that?
I don't think I can
allowed?
answer that. I don't think I can. It was released. I'll say that.
Okay.
I'll give another courtesy and give you 10 extra seconds, though time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you. He's
Mr. Thurman, thank you for not me benefiting. And
I actually know this one, but I can't remember the title right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So. What is it?
Serial killer.
I feel like it's got Gyllenhaal in it, but I don't feel like it does.
Banner, we need an answer.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to just go on record and say Deke is still the worst character in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because that's all I could come up with when I see the name Deke. I'm just having
That's
PTSD.
the name of the movie that you're saying?
Okay, yeah, that would be that title would not play well in markets.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
not correct.
I don't know what
Thurman,
it is.
Yes.
Is this
This is the $500 question.
Jake
Don't
Gyllenhaal?
ask me.
I don't remember the name of that movie anyways. But there's what's the serial killer? I don't know. What is Independence Day?
No. This was earlier in the year, so this one is pretty hard. Nate, how
I
about
was
you?
close, right?
Okay, hold on. Give me like 5 seconds. I think
Mason Thurman's like, if I don't know, I'm going to guess movies I
time
like
is
from-
up, Nate, but I'm willing to give you another 10 seconds.
Okay, thanks. Because I know exactly who started. Denzel and
Yes.
Denzel and what's his name? The Little Things.
Yes!
Oh, okay.
Seriously?
The Little
Malik-
Things.
Because I was
Malik
getting that
Alec,
mixed up.
Jared Leto.
Yeah, Rami Malek. Yeah. What's the series with maybe Amy Adams in it that has
Big Little Lies.
Little fires?
Yeah, I kept getting like
Or
Big
Little-
Little Lies in my head and
Sharp
sharp
Objects?
objects and I don't know. Yeah, but Little Things. Okay, good.
With that,
Pulled it
Nate
out.
Thurman has $1,600, Mrs. Thurman $400, and Brian Banner $500. And we are back to Nate Thurman. There's Final Jeopardy, so you can wager in that. So just stay in the hunt, guys.
Yep. Let's go. Yeah, Big Time Rip 400.
Big time rip for 400. Although we rarely dabbled in comedy, this late actor cracked us all up when he kept screaming raindrops in a Ben Stiller film while bricking jump shots playing pickup basketball.
Who is one of the stars of Twister? Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Correct. Philip Seymour Hoffman. And I love in that scene, there's like an all-time great line if you're ever playing pickup basketball where Ben Stiller asks to switch who they're guarding because the guy he's guarding took his shirt off and he's sweating a lot. And Philip Seymour Hoffman goes, I just figured out how to guard this guy. Like, that's a reason not to sing.
Just unlocked it.
Yeah. I'm just messing with you, Sasquatch. All right, Nate's up. He has $2,000. Miss Thurman has $400. Brian Banner has $500. Mrs. Thurman, the board is yours.
I'm gonna have to go back to 90s movies. 200.
There we go. What 1991 movie had the tagline, "It's nothing personal. This time he's back for good"? I don't know why they put "for good" in there, but
Yeah, that's a weird take.
Okay, it's nothing.
the 1991
personal.
sequel.
He's back. Oh, is that a creepy movie? I don't know.
No, you got like 5 seconds.
What is the Terminator?
Oh yes,
The sequel.
T2 Judgment
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know why they said "for good." Like I think he actually dies in the movie.
I was gonna say, isn't he not coming back?
Well, we meant like "for good" for like the hour 40 minutes of this movie.
Oh, gotcha.
Or like he's back for good versus like evil.
Oh,
Was
that's
he being
what
a good guy?
I'm fucking stupid.
That
He
makes
is a good
sense.
guy in the second one.
Yeah.
It just came to me. I got lucky.
Wow. Yeah, that makes way more sense than like permanently being back. All right, Nate has 2,000, Mrs. Thurman 600, Brian Banner 500. Banner, you're up.
Let's go 2021 in film 400.
All right. Ms. Thurman, be ready to steal. A thriller about a family on a tropical holiday who discovers that the secluded beach where they are relaxing for a few hours is somehow causing them to age rapidly, reducing their entire lives
what the fuck was
into
this
a
called?
single day.
Okay, I think I know.
What the fuck was this called? It just came out in this year. Fuck.
That's 2021. Very insightful.
Jesus Christ. I feel like it was a 2021.
Hold on, wait.
Feels
wait.
right.
Don't tell me what year it came out. I know it. All right, time's up, Brian.
It's like Family Vacation or something like that.
Not even
Sorry.
close.
No. Mrs.
No.
Thurman.
This is
they had like
a M. Night Shyamalan.
yes, and they had
joint,
commercials
isn't it?
like every 5 minutes on every single channel for it.
I think it like the trailer for it debuted during the Super Bowl, if I remember right.
And I haven't seen this yet. I kind of want to see it, but I don't like horror films, and it's kind of borderline. So
Yeah. Cycling actually did a review on it.
Yep.
fuck. Okay, I might check
I
it out.
remember now.
Like I know exactly what the preview is and everything.
Yeah.
What is Island Time?
That
Sorry.
sounds so much cooler than what it actually is.
Nate, do you know
Really?
the title?
I think so. I think it's pretty simple. Just old.
Old is correct.
Yeah.
Ah,
Based on a short story called like Sandcastles or something. I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Who picked that? Brian? Yes.
Unfortunately.
Nate Thurman, you're up. You have $2,400. Miss Thurman has 600. Brian has 500.
Can I just cash out?
I don't think that's how it works.
I wouldn't mind $600.
Oh, okay.
On the
let's go
actual
back
Jeopardy, if you get second, don't you get like just 1,000 automatically?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Wait, what
sorry,
was that?
third place, I mean.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
get third place,
Yeah.
even if you just have $1.
Yeah. As long as you make it to final. So,
Nice.
let's go big time rip 300.
Big time rip. 300. This late king of comedy has a little remembered role as the car salesman who sells Shia LaBeouf Bumblebee in the original Transformers movie.
God. Who's Bernie Mac?
Bernie Mac is correct.
Motherfucker.
The route is
Yeah.
Brian's
you know
like, I
too
fucking
much of
knew
random
that one.
shit.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
It's a pretty funny scene, actually. But a lot of people.
It's a good little bit roll.
All right. We're just playing to cover the spread, basically to get to the point where you can wager enough to have a shot at Nate. Nate has 2,700 and Mrs. Thurman 600. Brian Banner 500. Miss Thurman, you're up.
Let's try 2021 200.
There we go. When a bank teller discovers he's actually a background player in an open world video game, he decides to become the hero of his own story, one that he can rewrite himself.
What?
It's a good start.
Brian might
He's
have
a
a chance. at this
background
one.
player?
He discovers
Do
he
you even know
is a background player in an open world video game.
I know the movie. I don't know if I can remember.
Big
it.
name actor in it. Cutie.
Yeah.
When a bank
That's the
teller.
only hint. That's it.
Oh, I want to give her a
So,
hint about him married to.
my guess is, what is Wreck-It Ralph?
Ooh.
Did not
I
come out in
mean-
2021, but good guess.
Background player, video game.
Yeah.
He's a hero. Yeah?
I'm sorry.
No? Okay.
Nate, do you have a guess?
I do. Hold on. Let's see. God. Nothing's even coming to me. We'll go with Jumanji.
Good guess. But unfortunately, no. Brian, do you remember the movie?
Free Guy.
Free Guy is
God
correct.
damn it.
Starring
Ryan Reynolds is in it. Yeah.
It's
Did you
got
know Ryan Reynolds is married to Blake Lively?
Allegedly.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'd heard that.
Yeah.
I'd heard that. All right.
You guys.
Nate, $2,700. Miss Thurman, $600. Brian, $700. Brian, you're up.
Let's go 2021 film 100. Let's close it out.
Yeah, not a lot of money left here. All right, the $100 question in 2021 film. Dr. Lily Houghton enlists the aid of wisecracking skipper Frank Wolf to take her down the Amazon in this ramshackle boat.
What is The Jungle Cruise?
That is correct, of course, starring Emily Blunt and Dwayne. Does he still go by The Rock Johnson, or is he just...
I don't know.
Got like 8 names probably he goes by. I don't know.
Address me as all 8, please.
Yeah.
In the proper sequence.
If you get it out of order, kick your
All right.
dick.
Not a lot of money left here on the board, but we'll see what happens. Nate has 2,700. Thurman 600. Brian 800. Nate, you're up. Last turn for everybody.
Let's go 90s 1.
Damn it.
90s for $100. In Rookie of the Year, what famous soft drink does Henry McAllister get a sponsorship for, and his soon-to-be stepdad fucks up the shoot by being a diva? Probably harder than a $100 question.
Yeah, that's harder than a
I was gonna say,
$100 question.
I'm
but
it's not like a
guess because it's not coming to me right off the bat.
Though it's not like something obscure.
Yeah, let's go. This is just popping in my head for some reason. Let's go Pepsi.
Yep.
Pepsi is correct.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's the shoot where he's like playing the piano with the sunglasses on.
I just got lucky on that one.
You're just the basket is like an ocean tonight.
When you're on, you're on. You know.
Blouses.
Yeah. All right, 2,800 for Nate, 600 for Miss Thurman, 800 for Brian Banner. Miss Thurman, you are up. How many options?
Let's just 200.
Big time rip for 200.
Yeah.
This acting legend probably wishes he didn't announce his retirement and hang it up after starring in The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Fuck.
I think that was his last movie.
It was.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Way to go out with a bang there.
Brian, I think you're gonna have a shot at this one. When was the last time I saw League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
There's a bunch of old people in it, is all I know. If that gives you a hint.
I think you're thinking of Space Cowboys.
What the fuck? No, she's not.
I think you're thinking of...
She's like, how could I think of something I've never heard of?
Apollo
Never heard of.
13.
I think you're getting...
Hugh, who is Neil Armstrong?
Not Neil Armstrong.
He had a very illustrious acting career.
Now I feel bad that I kind of like pushed you in the space realm.
I didn't even realize that's what you did.
Yeah.
Subconscious. It's the worst thing to do. Nate, do you have a guess?
I mean, the only person I remember from that movie is Sean Connery.
Yeah.
That is
what
correct.
the fuck, man?
Dang it.
Yes.
There we go.
I'm probably the only one in this pod that has watched this movie in the last 5 years also.
Yes, probably.
All right, that gets Nate to an even 3,000, Miss Thurman at 600, Brian at 800, and Brian, the last question is big time.
I believe I will go big time rip for 100, please.
Good choice. This late actor has a daughter with former Dawson's Creek star Michelle Williams.
I have no fucking idea.
Really?
Is it the guy? What's the dude from?
It's a $100 question. It's not the dude from anything.
The dude from Mighty Ducks. Wasn't he in Dawson's Creek?
You think they had a kid in real life?
What? Maybe I don't understand the question.
Probably not.
Late actor.
This actor, late actor meaning he's not alive,
Okay.
has a daughter
It's
with
Okay.
Michelle Williams, who
category.
used to star on Dawson's Creek.
Oh, I see the question now.
They didn't
Yeah, I
have
still don't know.
sex on the show and have the kid.
Still don't know the answer, but I understand the question, which is, in my mind, that's a win.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take that. I am going to give Miss Thurman a shot then.
She should.
Oh, shit. I just now understood the question. So,
Weird.
and I don't
I'll
know
apologize to
actors.
you, Brian.
I have no idea. Who is Austin Powers?
No, baby. Nate, to you.
Wow. Unless I just get extremely lucky here, this $100 question is going to go unanswered.
Damn, my bad. I thought.
I did not know. I actually did. I looked it up, but
I could have been for this person, but.
So now I just have to think of a dead person.
Yeah, basically. There's only like 6 total, so.
That is true. And now I can't think of any. Who is Robin Williams?
No, the answer is Heath Ledger.
I did not know that they had a child together.
Yeah. See, like I could have done a bunch of other things for Heath Ledger, but I thought, like he played the Joker, that would be maybe a little too easy.
A Knight's Tale.
Ooh, A Knight's Tale.
What if I just wrote A Knight's Tale?
A Knight's Tale. Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Nailed it.
All right. I guess text. Well, hang on. Do we have? What's the best way to do this? Because if you text me, it's going to pop up on my screen. Just tell me.
Sharing your screen.
Just tell me your wages.
I already texted you.
Okay, so that's what you want to stick with?
Yeah, I'm sticking with that.
Okay. Let me read. Okay. I don't know if it'll let me do that, but no, it won't.
Oh, God,
Wait, there was a decimal.
Yeah, there was definitely a decimal. All right, Brian has wagered $123. Miss Thurman, what would you
go ahead and round up since I can't put the decimal in.
Yeah, obviously, we're not animals.
Come on.
But Brian, you have $800. You are wagering $124. I don't know why.
Let's do it all.
Yeah, good choice. Miss Thurman, she'll wager all $600. And Nate, what would you like to wager?
Do it all. Don't be a pussy.
800.
Yeah, do it all.
800?
800. Yeah, sorry, the other people are jumping in.
800. Okay, I think if you could get something to write with, maybe this is a number, and we're going to say closest without going over wins, okay?
We have one pen.
So, here is the question. The question for Final Jeopardy. Jude Law seems like a pretty cool dude. He's 48 years old and still probably banging hot chicks on the reg. According to a quick Google search, which don't do that, I already did that, how many movies has he been in his life? Closest without going over wins. And I gave you his age. I think he's been acting since he was about 19 professionally. Closest without going over.
Price is Right rules, guys.
I have no idea. Does Brian
Hopefully
have his answer?
no one has an idea.
I have mine written down. I'm ready.
I have wrote mine down.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Mrs. Thurman, why don't you go first? What did you go with for how many movies in his life Jude Law has been in? I'm assuming this number is counting cameos.
I can't see
I did 7.
7, okay.
Whoa. Definitely not
high
going
or
to go
low?
over.
That's pretty low,
Okay.
but that's okay. If everyone else goes over, you win. Brian, since you were the second most with $800, how many movies do you think Jude Law has been in?
62.
So
Whoa.
Banner wrote it on his
62,
hand.
okay.
I couldn't find a piece of paper.
Okay.
And Nate, how many do you think?
Dang it, I don't know. That's too bright. I'll have Ashley confirm. 25.
25.
25. All right, so Miss Thurman says 7, Brian 62, Nate 25. Although Brian was technically the closest.
God damn
Nate
it.
gets it right because the number is 58, or at least 58.
You gotta
according
be
to
fucking
Google.
kidding me. I was 4 off, and I don't fucking get it.
No. The rules were stated before. I don't know.
It was an aggressive play, which I appreciate. Good for Jude Law, right?
Yeah, that's 58. That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
And that probably doesn't include his TV appearances.
Has he been in a lot of TV?
He did that show on HBO. Was it?
The
Pope?
Young Priest. Yeah, the Young Pope.
The Young Popes. That's what it was. Yeah.
The Young
And
Pope.
I'm sure he's done a couple since then as well, right? Surely.
Yeah. definitely. Well, congrats to all, but especially Nate Thurmond, who I believe has never lost in 2 years of
Back to back.
movie
I'll see you
Jeopardy.
guys next year.
Rigged.
Which, Brian, this background on Skype, you have to get rid of it.
I don't have a background.
You set something up to where it looks like we're all
sitting at a hibachi table.
Yeah.
You're not for me.
Okay, I switched to grid view. So yeah, at first it looked like the Star Wars cantina, but it's definitely a hibachi. And we're the only people there, so it's like super awkward.
I rented the place out for us. Thought you would enjoy that.
It's very nice.
All right, well, congrats to Nate Thurmond. Before we move on, I know Nate, obviously, huge Jeopardy fan in and of himself. Anything you guys want to say? This being the 1 year anniversary of Alex Trebek's passing, kind of crazy that it's already been a year. I don't know, but also kind of not in a weird way.
I mean, over the past year and a half, it's been said multiple times, but just about time in general, it feels like an amalgamation of like, I don't even know what, because time is a weird construct since the whole pandemic and COVID breakout. But yeah, it's crazy that it's been a year and we've gone through all the guest hosts on Jeopardy now. Shout out to a couple of them. Aaron Rodgers, I really liked him on there. He maybe wasn't the most fluid, but you could tell he really wanted to try and do a good job. And that was really cool. We're actually a little behind on our recordings where we just finished with Joe Buck. Really like Joe Buck as a host too. He did awesome. Had a lot of good energy. Awful?
Well, he's like
Joe Buck.
I've really come around on Joe Buck.
I have too, I think.
I still think that
more
if you go into a
self-aware
bathroom I still think if you go into a bathroom and there's 8 stalls, nobody else is in there except for you, he's gonna go right next to you.
Just because you saw that meme one time.
Yeah, and I don't think it's just a meme. I think it's true.
This is
It
beyond.
really happened.
What a weird way to judge someone.
Yeah. But yeah, interested to see where it goes in the future. But his legacy will live on with the new Alex Trebek stage, which they've named after him. So
we don't have a permanent host right now, right? Like they still haven't named one, because the guy that they named, like he lasted like 4 seconds. Or I guess
the executive producer. There were some things that came out about him in the past, and he stepped down graciously. And so they've got Ken Jennings and I can't remember her name, but the
chick from the Big Bang Theory, right?
Yes. Yeah. What Banner said.
Has there been any talk about LeVar Burton doing it? Did he guest host? I thought
he did. There was a lot of people. I'm glad you brought that up, because there were a lot of people who jumped on his train, and I was not a fan of his.
Really? I haven't seen him in decades since reading Rainbow.
Yeah. The whole flow of the game was weird, and there were some like weird instances where like the contestant would say the answer and there would be like a huge pause, like he wouldn't know what to do. He's like, "Yes, that's correct," and then they move on. I was like, what is going on? It was weird. I don't know.
Did he try to like bust out books in the middle of the show and they were like, no?
No, he didn't do that. I mean, he's articulate and everything, so. But.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Brian, you can maybe apply for the job.
Yeah, that would go over real well.
Mrs. Thurman, thank you for helping us out. I mean, I'm sorry that Brian cheated and Nate cheated, so you didn't win, but it's not your fault.
Let's be honest, guys. I don't have to cheat to lose.
That is true.
Even if I cheated, I probably still would have lost.
Same. So Nathan kind of had this one in the bag.
As my Little League coach used to say, anytime we would ask him what the score of our game was, we're all winners.
As long as you're having fun, right?
Hey, we're all here with friends and family, so, we're all
winning. When a coach says that, I'm like, so we're getting our asses just waxed then, right?
Cool. So that means that if there was a mercy rule, this game would be over.
Yeah, but they legally have to let us play 3 innings.
Just let me know what kind of snow cone I'm getting afterwards, and I'm fine.
Grapes best.
Grapes best.
Cherry's good also. All right, well, that brings us to the second part of our show, which is our protein shake, also known as What Have We Watched Lately? Guys, I've only seen 3 things since we last spoke, because I'm getting balls deep in some TV here. How about you, Nate? How many things have you watched?
I think hold on, let me get my notes. I don't have too many. I've got 3 on here. And one of them I know is a crossover with you.
Oh, perfect. Brian, how about you?
I actually have one thing. We got pretty balls deep into a show, and that is all I've watched the last 7 days.
Awesome. All right, well, let's do a little round robin till Nate and I come together on this last one. I saw the Eternals in theaters on Friday. The new. I guess it's
Is it as bad as everybody's saying it is?
Oh, man. So here's the thing. It's like the best not good movie I've seen in a while. And by that I mean it's made really well. The acting is pretty good. But it is such a dense and convoluted concept and plot, especially for a Marvel movie, that it just collapses in on itself. Like, even when the final action set piece happens, me being like a diehard MCU fan, I was watching it just thinking, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, what is happening? It's just such a heavy like, basically the story spans since the dawn of mankind.
It's a lot to go over.
It is.
So it happens all in one weekend?
Basically. Right.
Yeah, just 48 hours.
If you're drunk enough, that's how it feels sometimes. And there's a lot of characters. Like, I think there's 9 Eternals.
Yeah, just seeing like the trailer, I'm like, can I keep up with all these people and all
Yeah,
like the new faces and like big names and new faces?
I will say though, they do a really, really good job of explaining why they haven't shown up in the MCU thus far, but also like why now? Like what has happened in the MCU that this is now the moment that their story actually makes sense. And I thought the power sets were really cool. The visuals were good, but again, it's a long movie too. It's 2 hours 40 minutes, and there's just a lot going on, man. Like it would have been like a good 2 movie arc, I think. It just collapses.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Brian, are you seeing Jeff break up?
Yeah, he was buffering,
Okay.
like dial-up AOL there for a little while, but I think we got him back now.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Sorry, my AOL CD-ROM said I had.
You need to put a new CD in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I put the new one in. I got version 2. We picked it up at Walmart today. So we're good.
I need another 1,000 hours.
So if you're if you're an MCU fan, I mean, you have to watch it. I will say this though, and this is not a spoiler, but I am a little disappointed at how, and again, I know the timeline of the MCU in terms of like release dates of things has been kind of fucked up the past 2 years, both with shows and movies, just because of obviously the pandemic and reshuffling of things. But I was kind of disappointed at how there's some pretty big tie-ins here, but none of them tie into like any of the recent big overarching MCU themes or narratives that we've gotten, and I was kind of thinking we would get some more.
So we still don't have any
there.
crossover from the shows to the movies as of what has actually been released.
It depends if you count Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
I don't.
Okay, well, then I guess not, but that directly ties in to Loki.
Interesting.
So, but Eternals, I gave it a 2 out of 5 on Letterboxd. It's weird because it's not good, but I don't have venom and vitriol for it like I do in Iron Man 3. If that makes sense.
Well, that's because Iron Man 3 is not that bad of a movie.
You're right, it's a horrible movie.
It's not horrible. It's a decent middle of the pack movie.
We don't need to go down that whole road. That could take a while.
Nate, what have you seen lately?
Do you want me to hold off our crossover until the end?
Yeah, we can just do that last if that works.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, we have 2 crossovers. Anyways, I'll throw this one out there. Watched Coco the other day because it was Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. So it was fitting. I don't even know when that was. It was Thursday or Friday or something. Put that on. One of my, I probably ranked my
Pixar movies at one point, but maybe a top 5 Pixar movie for me. I really like it.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, classic follow your dream story. Fun little twist in there with the great grandfather. It's been out for a while. Won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. But going back, and this is a huge testament to Pixar, the animation, the engineering there, and just the fucking fantastic job they've done for 20 plus years. Picking up the guitar in the past year and a half, seeing like the guitar playing in this and like the chords they're playing and the finger picking, it is fantastic. It is insane. Like,
so well done.
It lines up so well. Like, I legit think like whatever they animated in that is 100%.
It's almost like mocap.
Yeah, it is 100% accurate. Like the left hand and right hand, the picking and the chords or whatever's being played on each side, it is awesome. And just like the intricacy of all that shit is so awesome.
Brian, didn't it win an Oscar for something music, whether it was original?
Yeah, I think it was original song.
For Remember Me, I'm guessing.
I believe it was Remember Me, but I want to say it actually wasn't the English version. It was the Spanish version.
Oh, okay. But yeah.
Or at least that's the one that they sang at the Academy Awards.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Great underrated Pixar film in my opinion. But yeah, it was the Day of the Dead, so I was like, let's turn that on. Good flick. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
I need to. I still haven't seen Coco. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, go watch it. It's a good one.
Not my proudest moment. All right, Brian, how about you? What do you got?
Only thing I watched, which I believe Thurman, I know you've watched it, and I'm not sure if you have or not, Horns. But we have one episode left of Squid Games.
I'm not. Yeah, it's on my list.
Guys, maybe I just don't get it. Maybe I'm just not smart enough. But it's good. It's keeping my attention. I don't think it's this, oh my God, this is amazing, like everybody has been kind of saying. It's entertaining. It's keeping my interest. I want to see what happens at the end, but I'm not like jonesing like, hey, I gotta be at work in 3 hours. Let's watch this last episode.
Right.
It's fine. I think the acting is really, really good. I think as a English speaking and an American viewer, it at times can be hard because the translation, whether you're reading the subtitles or listening to the dub over, those don't match up. And then sometimes how that a particular scene or line is delivered in the dubbed over does not match the emotions on the actors. And you kind of have to read between the lines a lot there. But I think the acting is incredible in it.
So you can choose dubbed or subbed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have both.
Wait, so you have it? You have the English dubbed and the English subtitles?
Correct.
I feel like we talked about this before you watched it, or maybe it was with someone else. I can't remember. But I think the best way to watch it is just the Korean audio with the English subtitles.
Like we watch Parasite, basically.
Yes.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that. I'm doing both, but I think it would be you get a better representation of the actor's ability if you did it that way.
Their emotions come through more in their words.
Yeah, you're losing it a lot in the dubbed over. I will say.
And I think it's 8 episodes. We did that. We did the dubbed with the English subtitles for the first 7, and I was disappointed in myself. The last one we finally did just Korean audio with the English, and yeah, you could get a lot more feeling from.
I don't read fast enough to be able to do just that. In this show particular, they go really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's true.
Yeah, because sometimes when you get the dub, like the voice actors they bring in, like whatever they're doing just isn't. I mean, that's a hard job.
Yeah.
But if it's not matching up, like if they're not emoting the same way the actor is, you're like, okay, what? This looks like a gag almost.
And I don't obviously know enough about South Korean translation to English, but I know there's been a lot of pushback from people saying that it doesn't translate perfectly. And random enough, I actually watched a YouTube video on this today, and there was a woman breaking it down, and like some of the like curse words and things like that don't line up exactly, and like some of the not pet names, but like more intimate names that they use for people don't match up and get the right emotion.
Is there any, okay, because I actually heard a little bit of controversy about this too. Is there any like issues though where like, maybe I misread the tweet, but where like a character says something in the dubbed version, and if you watch the sub version, you're like, that's kind of a completely different like intent behind what they're saying.
Yes, it happens. I would say very rarely does the audio and the subtitles match up, but between the two, you get a pretty clear understanding of what they're saying. The few times where you're like, that literally is the complete opposite, just by knowing what's going on in the show, you know what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people are nitpicking. Like
That's
you're watching a show or a movie that is from a different language. Nothing translates perfectly. So you have to kind of watch it all with a grain of salt and read between the lines, have a little imagination, and be intelligent about what you're watching. Don't just take everything at face value.
Yeah, and I get the people that like, I watch everything with subtitles now. That's how I know I'm getting old.
Oh, me too.
Oh, 100%.
But Nate, maybe you felt differently. I had really no issues at all with Parasite. Like watching it.
No.
And I was super impressed. I think I've said this on the pod before. Like, I don't rewatch a lot of movies. I watched that one twice within like a week.
Mm-hmm.
And being a foreign film. And like, I hadn't seen like many foreign films before that, actually since. But it was really great. And honestly, when you're reading those, I don't think you're getting all of it, but you're getting the gist of it. And
sure.
I think they did a good enough job to where they still got the concept of whatever the scene was or whatever the emotions were across on that one. And that's how I watched Parasite. It was the Korean audio, English subtitles.
Plus, it just makes me feel cultured.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is good. Brian, you said that was it? Just that show?
That's all. We've got one episode left. I think there's 9 episodes in the season. We've watched 8 of them. Powered through them pretty good. So actually, I think as soon as we hang up here, I'm going to go watch that last one.
Yeah, I'm finishing 2 shows I'm almost done with, and that's next up. Do we know if it has been renewed for a second season, or does this seem like the type of show that's just a limited series and we got to hang it up after this?
I haven't heard. I hope it's just one and done, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
I reserve my answer till after I've seen that last episode.
That's fair. Another movie I watched, because again, we talk all the time. This is sort of that nebulous time where like Halloween's over. It's not quite Christmas movie season yet. It's a whole separate debate we can have, but I like to give it, at least like the week before Thanksgiving. But I'm in like this horror Christmas mode right now, which surprisingly is a genre that has like quite a bit of films to its credit. And I watched the 2019 film Black Christmas. This is actually the 3rd iteration of this movie. So there's one in the 60s. There was one in 2004, I believe. And then this one in 2019. And this one actually strays a little bit more, if you guys have heard of this film, from the previous 2. The 1960s version and the 2004 or 5 is about a group of sorority girls who all stay home during winter break, like in between semesters. And it's basically like a cheap, fun slasher movie where someone is in the sorority house and they're picking off the sorority sisters one by one. And the mid-2000s one actually has, Brian, Michelle Trachtenberg, who is Harriet the Spy, and she's also
Holy shit.
Eurotrip. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So she's one of the sorority sisters, and I actually really like that one as like a stupid, fun slasher movie. It takes place in one night in the sorority house, and it's like, you can imagine it's just cheap, stupid kills. Black Christmas 2019, I hate to just be shitting on everything tonight, but I really disliked. It strays from the previous 2 a lot, and I am not a Black Christmas purist where I'm like, well, you don't fucking take the title Black Christmas and put it on a movie if you're not going to be true to the source material. I'm not like that at all. But I came in thinking it was going to be like a cheap, stupid slasher film. And this movie really tries to punch above its weight. It has a very big message and an important message, basically about rape culture in Greek life and how it's very pervasive in a lot of fraternities and how toxic it is, which I think is all like an important message and one that needs to get out. But is this the vehicle that you really want to deliver that in? And I will just say, in the third act, specifically the last 10 minutes, this thing goes so far off the rails into like some realm of genre that I don't even know how to classify it, that I'm like, any importance or like validity you actually had in the message you were trying to deliver, you just completely punted away, because this thing gets zany and insane to like a level that I was not prepared for. Imogen Poots is in it. You guys have probably seen in a lot of stuff. She was in like Vivarium and what was that show with Mark Ruffalo that was on HBO?
He played a twin.
This Much I Know Is
Yeah.
True. Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, she plays his girlfriend in that. She pops up in a lot of stuff. Really good actress. She plays the main sorority girl, and then there's a few other people. Actually, Nate, the girl from The White Lotus, the one who ends up dating the Hawaiian guy from the resort,
Oh, really?
she's
Okay.
in it. Yeah, she's one of the main characters. And then, of course, Carrie Elwes from Princess Bride and Saw
Nice.
and Robin Hood, Prince of Tights. He is her professor in the movie. But again, I turned it on expecting a stupid slasher movie, and I got something that wanted to deliver an important message. And I don't know, it was just, there was a lot of conflicting ideas about what this movie was within the movie itself. Was not a fan. Again, message is important, but
Yeah.
like if you're trying to give me a message on like racism, don't put it in like a SpongeBob SquarePants episode, you know?
Well, have we tried it yet?
Time and place.
We haven't tried it. Gary is a racist is what the episode is, and SpongeBob has to show him the error of his ways. All right, last thing I had, Nate and I shared. Nate, you got anything else?
Yeah, and really, I have 3, and all of them actually have crossover with you guys. So I'll knock 2 out real quick here. This one I finally watched because it finally came on Disney Plus, and I didn't go see it in theaters. But Black Widow, finally threw that on, watched it.
Really good.
What?
Really
Anna?
good? Is that what he said?
Oh,
Really good.
I couldn't tell if he was being sarcastic or not.
No, I liked it.
Okay. Okay, good. I was about to say I thoroughly enjoyed it. Backstory was cool.
You thermally enjoyed it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Wow, that's your new catchphrase.
Ooh, I like it. Okay, I'll put that in the back pocket for later use. Yeah, I thought it was all really great. Like I said, I thought the backstory was great. Cool action. The one that David Harbour's accent kind of.
Yeah. But he's so
It's a bit
funny, you
iffy.
kind of just buy into it.
And I'll have to go back and rewatch it, but I feel like in the beginning, and maybe because they were like actually in America, I don't feel like he had the accent even when he was talking with his family.
No,
and
he
then
did not.
later, later in the movie,
Yeah.
it became much more thick, and I was like,
Yeah.
Interesting. But a lot of good funny moments, especially between the sisters. Actually, I'm trying to. I know I know Scarlett Johansson's sister was in Midsummer. What's her
Yeah,
name?
Florence
Florence
Pugh.
Pugh.
Yes, there we go.
She is dating Zach Braff, I believe.
Zach Braff.
Oh.
Which is super weird, but
Wow,
Good for him.
good
you
for
know?
them.
Nice. I really like that. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it all the way to the end. Extra credit scene, great,
Yeah, there's your TV tie-in, Brian.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I just meant like thick, like from the plot, like this is a direct effect of events that happened in the show. Where I feel like that is
I mean,
going
is
to.
that not good enough for you? What happened?
I mean, an end credit scene at this point, there's so many and they're so diluted. It's kind of like, oh, whatever. I think I would have gotten a lot more enjoyment out of it if all of this came or dropped in the original order that they thought. Because Black Widow was supposed
probably.
to have
Yeah.
dropped, 3 years ago? So we would have known that Julie Louis-Dreyfus was coming at some point. And then all of a sudden she's dropped into Falcon and Winter Soldier. about a completely different issue than what we saw her talking about at the end of Black Widow. So I just think that knowing she was already a thing and who she was at that point, when Black Widow was dropped, it took away from that reveal.
And also, I guess minor spoiler for Hawkeye, so skip ahead 30 seconds. But at the end of Black Widow, obviously Madame Hydra shows Yelena Belova Hawkeye, and Florence Pugh is in 2 episodes of the Hawkeye show. So there's a tie-in there, I guess. Yeah. Sort of inverse to what you were saying, but yeah.
Right. Which, I mean, I'm still fine with that. I'm a sucker for anything that ties in with anything. I literally just watched like 162 days worth of Star Wars stuff because it all ties together. So
it does. But had that, thoroughly enjoyed that. Great tie-ins, TV, movie. There you go, Banner, and Invincible. Ran through Invincible, so I've been texting Horns on this. He turned me on to it, and whew, I won't give any spoilers away because I know it's a pretty new series. Just came out earlier this year, so don't want to spoil it for anyone. But man, it does. I think Horns has even said this on here. It lulls you to sleep like the first episode, and then it goes 0 to 100 real fast. Yeah. And then it just locks you in. I ran through it pretty quick.
I think I watched it in 2 days. It was like over a weekend. I just watched the whole thing.
And then, I mean, a ton of great voice actors in it. J.K. Simmons, Mahershala Ali,
Seth Rogen,
Walt Goggins.
Honestly, his character kind of takes me out of it just because it's so Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Zazie Beetz from The Joker.
Mm-hmm. Walt Goggins plays Cecil.
Walton Goggins is great in this.
Mm-hmm. I always call him Walton Goggins.
Ezra Miller is in it. He plays like the creepy scientist kid at the college.
Yeah, and then you may have already said this guy. Who plays like the cocky superhero kid?
Not Jason Mantzoukas, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
Jason Mantzoukas. Clancy Brown is the devil detective guy he's great in everything. Yeah. Maggie, is it O from Grey's Anatomy?
I think that's right. Plays the mom. Which I thought was kind of, they have Asian actors who are playing the mom and son in that, which it just lined up that way, I guess. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, really great. Probably going into it 90% of the time, or 90% of the people go into it, probably not exactly what you're thinking it's going to be. And then last episode or 2, really cool twist. And excited for season 2 to see where that goes. I think early 2022 is what they're saying. So
yeah, I think so. And Brian, this show is like right down your alley. If you haven't,
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, it's great. Well, I was going to make a comparison, but I won't, just not to spoil anything. But Invincible, watch it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Where do we watch this at?
So Prime. Amazon Prime.
Okay. Prime original. Based on I don't know if it's a whole comic series, but it's at least a graphic novel.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And then last thing I had, crossover with Jeff, which he knows.
Yeah, so Brian, you're done, right? Sorry, you already.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's done.
Oh yeah. Okay. No.
So Nate and I watched You season 3.
Wife watched this. I watched about 5 minutes of it, and then I decided I am so fucking confused. I need to go back in the other room.
Oh wait, hold on. You haven't seen any You. And you
started watching
I've never
season 3.
Yeah, about halfway through
on this. No.
Yeah,
you need backstory on this. You need backstory on Joe.
I hear great things though.
It's compelling.
So do you want us to not spoil it for you then? Or are you going to go back at some point?
Oh, guys, I love spoilers. It's about the journey, not the end for me.
Okay. Well, I guess skip ahead maybe like a minute and a half, 2 minutes if you don't want You season 3 spoiled for you, because I don't really know of anything we can say about it. I mean, because all my thoughts are
tough.
Yeah. But I will say this, Nate, I guess what I'll just start with is like, I thought this was like the middle 3 episodes, like 3, 4, 5. Mm-hmm. I was kind of like, maybe I'm just kind of desensitized to this show. I'm like, nothing really crazy is happening. And then it picks up pretty strong in the end. But I think for me, the strength of the show is just the acting is so good.
Yeah, and I know at some capacity other shows and movies do this, but I think the way they pull it off, being inside Joe's head and his inner monologue,
So cool.
is so great, so
Yeah.
creepy. There's a lot of great pauses that they use in the show where he's just talking to himself, talking out the situation, and showing like his true colors behind the scene. And this one really got into a lot of like his, I don't know, inner demons. I mean, he's had tons of those, but like all over the place because him and Love are in a good spot, and then all of a sudden it just flips a switch, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm out of it. I'm moving on to the next thing." And it was an interesting transition in how quickly it happened, even though I know we're dealing with a sociopath.
Well, I was gonna say it's a weird thing because this show makes you root so much for the murderer. Like you're like,
who do you
"Please
want to
don't-
root for?
Please don't get caught." And you're like, he's killed like 6 people.
Yeah,
Why are you
It's,
rooting for him?
it's a wild ride. The date night at their house later in the series with the other couple, which I won't spoil what all that shit because that's pretty cool to watch and all that stuff. But man, that was a weird dynamic. That was a nice little puzzle piece that they fit in there.
Yeah.
And it's super tense right before shit hits the fan.
Yeah, because you're like, do they know? Do they
Man,
not know?
I was like, I can't tell. But I mean, it goes to a testament of what you were saying, like the acting in this. And then later on, maybe the last episode, when paralyzing drugs come into it and like them having to act through that and being very convincing.
Okay, so if you just came back in, sorry, skip ahead like another minute because
Yeah, sorry, we're still going.
Real quick.
Still going.
So Nate, predictions for, because I know there are a few books, but I think since season 1 they've gone completely on their own from the books. So do you have predictions for season 4? Because in my mind, a few of the plot threads that are still out there that they teased a little bit more is number 1, Joe was that his half brother or who was that with his mom in the flashback? Do you think?
With
Like the child that she was with when he like refound his mom as like a 10-year-old or whatever.
That's a great question. Yeah, because I'm trying to line up like the ages on that now. But yeah, it's got to be a new kid.
Yeah.
Maybe like a half. Yeah, half.
Probably his half brother. So that kid could come into play, or is his mom going to finally come back into his life? Because we still have not seen the resolution to their story arc.
I think that's a strong possibility, especially since they had a lot of flashbacks this season of him at school and kind of that struggle and his. Well, I mean, he literally even says it in the show, his mommy issues that he found. Oh fuck, I have mommy issues.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh fuck, there it is.
It's a new one.
Yeah, but I think we may see the same plot played out, and I'm not mad at it. He's going to be in Paris. He's going to be searching for who he's searching for, but then out of the blue, develop some relationship with someone else. Don't know how serious he'll get, but then finally finds who he wants. He's like, well, fuck, now I'm in a pickle.
Yeah, the second he sees the first hot chick in Paris, he's going to be like, well, now I need your used tampons.
Yeah, please and thank you. Okay, this is weird. One quick thing I will point out, I thought it was interesting. Actually, Miss Thurman pointed this out, I think, earlier today, randomly talking about you. But Joe never killed anyone for love that we could think of. Like, he's killed a lot of people, and a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. And if you can find one, that'd be great. But we were thinking, like, he has never killed anyone specifically because of love or for love. He's taken care of people she killed, but he had never, in the course of their courtship or marriage, he had never killed anyone for her, which is kind of interesting.
Huh.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
You know what's weird? I don't remember season 2 that well. I realized after watching season 3.
Oh, me too. I'm in the same boat. Yeah.
But I remember season 1 really well for some reason.
I had to ask. I was asking Miss Thurman earlier. I was like, who killed 40? I kind of forgot.
Who did kill 40?
It was a cop.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like a detective or something. I was like, I
fucking cop.
Totally forgot about that.
Fucking firefighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole season went off the rails from the hotel episode where 40 forced him to do drugs basically.
Yeah, he was tripping balls.
And then they had to write their movie or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great show. And, of course, it's already been renewed for season 4. Obviously, the pandemic played a big role, but I felt like season 3 took almost 2 years to come out, right? It took like forever.
It was a while. Yeah.
And the production schedule on the show can't be that long, so.
It took a minute. And I know
and part of that was because season 1 was Lifetime, right? And then Netflix picked it up for season 2.
Yep.
Right.
So most people saw season 1 on Netflix pretty only a couple months or so before season 2 was dropped. So then you had to go, oh, are they gonna renew it? Now let's go through the whole process plus the pandemic.
And the one tidbit I will throw in about, well, actually 2 tidbits now that I think about it. I know, yeah, it was original Lifetime. I think it gets kind of a bad rap of being a chick series or chick TV show. Fuck it. We're watching it. We're enjoying it. So
I've actually heard more guys be like, yeah, hey, just you need
fuck
to check
all the
this
haters
out.
out there. That first season also, it's funny. You'll see where like the cuts are for commercial breaks.
Oh, yeah.
They still do that.
I know. I kind of like that.
I'm like, it's on Netflix now. You don't have commercials, but they still do that, just like staying true to the original, I guess. It's funny.
Well, I still always appreciate how Netflix, again, they drop all their series like in their entirety. So
Yeah.
you don't have to end on a cliffhanger, dude. Like I'm gonna, like you don't need to bring me back next week, but they still do it.
Yeah,
it's
they're
like,
still keeping that same format.
you know, they say date your wife. That's basically what Netflix does to us. They have us in bed every night. They know it, but they're still trying, which I appreciate.
It's cute.
All right, you guys have anything before we move on to the last part of our show? Anything we missed?
That's it for me. Uh-oh.
And that bird brings us to the end of our show, which is our Do You Even Lift Bruh segment. And currently, the question and answer segment that we are dealing with on Do You Even Lift Bruh is, what are our top 100 movies of all time? And if you check in the description of the show notes or the info on the bottom on if you're on Apple Podcasts, you will find a squad blog with a link to an updated Google Doc of all the Bros top 100 movie lists of all time, which we are counting down. We started this on episode 160, and we are making our way to see number 1. And as we always state, these are not our lists of what we think are the best 100 movies of all time. These are our personal and special to us top 100 movies. So where we pick up today, and the spreadsheet will already be updated, but Nate Thurmond is at his number 90 movie of all time, and he's going to count down to 86, and then Brian and I are going to jump in with one each because we're already at our 87th. So Nate, you have the floor. Your number 91 movie of all time, where we last left with you, was the 1969 True Grit. Classic Western.
The OG.
Yes. So what is your number 90 movie of all time?
Number 90. Moving out of the 90s here in a second. But number 90 for me would be the 2020, I think. Can I call it a classic?
Yes, whatever it is. Yes.
About a year ago. I think it was 2020. Palm Springs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This was number, I believe, 101 on my list.
Oh, and I think we talked about this before we started doing the 100, or before we started talking about it. You were trying to get that one in there, just was right on the bubble. Yeah, Palm Springs 100. 90 for me. Really great, really surprising. And I know we've talked about this movie on the pod before. But man, so rewatchable. You pick up new things. You always have the Groundhog Day aspect to it. But I think it's so much more than that. And Andy Samberg did a delightful job in this. I haven't been Andy Samberg's fine. Never been like the biggest fan of him, but he really carried this movie. And you get the nice cameo of J.K. Simmons in it, which is great and funny. Then they actually have some touching moments in it too. So it's a good mix. Surprised me when it came out. I'm probably going to watch it this week. Haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, I mean, if you describe the movie to someone at a bar and you say it's Andy Samberg and he's reliving the same day over and over at some wedding where he doesn't know anyone, you would not think at all that there is as much heart to this thing as there is.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot.
There is.
Chris Milioti, of course, is awesome in it. But the whole, I guess, the time loop movie, I'm tired of people being like, Groundhog Day ripoff, bro. At this point, I think it's a subgenre of movies, right? There's enough of them to where like we're not just all copying Groundhog Day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that's the go-to.
And this brings, I think, enough uniqueness, or at least has enough. There's enough happening here, like it's not just a Groundhog Day paint by numbers. Like there's other things they're doing. Obviously, the characters have much different motivations, and there's more than one. Is it a spoiler to say there's more than one person in the time loop? That's in the trailer, I think, right?
Yeah, that's in the trailer.
Yeah, that's fine. And that's another cool thing. Like you have people in it. There's other people that get brought into it, so it adds a new dynamic. So it's a little different than any other time loop movie that's out there.
Yeah, Groundhog Day might have been, I mean, one of the first mainstream films to do it, but others have certainly done it with little wrinkles here and there that have kept it fresh.
Well.
Yeah.
All right, number 90, Palm Springs. What's your number 89?
89. We'll try and get through these quickly here, but number 89, and honestly, this is just kind of the way the numbers shook out. I would not have expected this one to kind of pop up around this area. It did. Definitely not a bad movie. I enjoy it. Haven't seen it in a while, but Remember the Titans popping up.
Nice.
The 2000 classic.
Holds up. I watched it last year.
Yeah. I mean, just one of those great motivational movies. I mean, it's got Denzel in it. I mean, how are you going to go wrong with that? And then you have a great supporting cast: Will Patton, Donna Faison,
very young Hayden Panettiere.
Hayden Panettiere, yeah. And then also Ryan Gosling,
who can't cover shit in the movie.
No, he's not the greatest ball player.
Total isolated cornerback. You attack him every play. You have to, right?
Yeah. But yeah, coming together story, black versus white, everyone working together, really hits you in the feels. Some great motivational sound bites from it. Left side, strong side.
Yep.
I mean, I could listen to that over and over again and see them getting hyped up. But yeah, just a delightful Disney movie right there. Very motivational. That's
one of the ones that I think we can all say without really realizing it was pretty influential on our generation's life. That movie coming out and learning about things that happened then and relating it now. Like it just all around there. You can't say anything bad about that movie, right?
I was literally about to say the same thing. Is like maybe this won't make other people's top 100, 200 movies, but I dare someone to say anything bad about Remember the Titans.
Let me know if they do.
Yeah. I'll post something on Twitter and see what I come up with.
Just looking it up, it was number 184 on my list. And if you're someone listening like, dude, fuck you, Hornacek, why is it only that low on your list? Putting together these lists is hard.
Yeah, there's another 183 movies that he liked better. Like
I currently have on my whole list, I have 1,037 movies, so it's in the top 10%.
Yeah, I think you threw out a good example if no one has heard it before. But where's Ant-Man, a movie you like? Where's that at?
Let me double check here. Ant-Man.
I think this is one that you did this for.
I think there's a hyphen. That's why when I control F. Yeah, Ant-Man is 341.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's a great movie too.
It's just behind Tag.
Tag.
Movie with
Another good one.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Remember the Titans, classic.
89.
That's Denzel just being Denzel. Like, give me the ball and get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah, I'll take this train to where it needs to go. Don't worry about it.
Nate, what's your number 88 movie of all time?
88. Guilty pleasure coming in. Serendipity, number 88. John
I was wondering
Cusack,
where this would end up on your list.
Kate Beckinsale. And I literally don't know what it is about this movie, but I can watch this over and over again. Jeremy Piven kind of adds some nice color in there as well as the kind of quirky, cocky, weirdly weird career choice, but obituary writer in there. And there's actually a funny moment in that where he writes John Cusack's obituary, although he has not died, just because he's trying to purge his feelings. But it's a love story. Maybe a little bit of a controversial love story because they're in relationships throughout the movie, but hey.
Yeah, they're kind of shitty people.
A little bit. a little bit, but at the end of the day, fate is what ties them together. And I love the whole concept. And I don't even know if this is like played out in any other movie, but the way they want to find each other is leaving it up to fate, writing their numbers on a book, giving it to a used bookstore, and then writing a number on a $5 bill and saying, hey, if it comes back to you, then we're meant to be together. And I don't know why, but that concept just really appealed to me. I was like, that is really awesome. Like, if by chance you find that book or you find that dollar, yes, there's no doubt you guys should be together.
The $5 bill one is risky. Like, he would have got a lot of probably annoying phone calls, but
I'd have gone to a lot of strip clubs. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that's true. Big spenders, I guess.
Throwing out the fives instead of the ones.
Serendipity, every time you and I get drunk and we're out somewhere, we're like, you want to just do a broback review of Serendipity tonight? And we always want to intro the review with, it's the review that no one asked for.
Nope, but we're doing it anyway.
Fuck you.
And it has a fitting rating on IMDb of 6.9. Nice.
Giggity.
Beautiful.
But yeah, one of those guilty pleasures made my top 100. This is just one of those that makes me feel good for whatever reason.
I don't want to tell you where Serendipity is on my list.
I don't want you to tell me either.
Okay, good. Because I like it. I don't know why it's where it is. Oh no, wait, that's the alphabetical order one. Whew.
No, it's fine if it's way down there. I'm not going to be offended.
Hey, it's 134 actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right behind the original Jumanji.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So it's actually ahead of Remember the Titans on my list. And again, these lists are just ours. It's ahead of The Departed.
It
Well,
happens.
that was a shitty movie, so, you know.
Whoa.
It was a joke.
Fuck it.
All right, guys, it was a joke.
Fucking firefight us.
Patriot Act.
All right, Dos Moss here.
Yeah, what's your number 87?
All right, won't spend too much time on this because this has already been mentioned by another bro, Mr. Geiger, but it is Unforgiven, the Clint Eastwood 1992 film. So if you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. Classic 90s Western, old gunslinger Clint Eastwood has to team up and get back out there and kick some ass. Taking one last job with an old partner.
God, is there anything cooler than one last time? One last ride.
No.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
And I mean, it's got Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman. I mean, and Clint Eastwood in it in a Western. What more can you ask for?
The Unforgiven clocked in at number 92 for Geiger.
Yep. So pretty close to each other on those. But yeah, Clint Eastwood just goes fucking scorched earth at the end. Great Western.
Sold. Clint Eastwood in a Western. You need hold my beer. I'm in.
Haven't seen his newest installment, and I've heard very mixed reviews on it, so don't know.
Is that The Mule? Is that his latest movie?
Something, no, Cry Macho.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he directed that too.
Yeah, he's still pushing his movies. Good for him, but
Did he direct or EP Unforgiven?
I don't. Yes, he directed it. He didn't write it though.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah,
because I want to say I read somewhere that In the Line of Fire, which I believe was 91, was the last movie that he acted in where he did not also either EP or direct.
Random enough, I just watched that a couple weeks ago for the first time.
I am actually about halfway through it right now. Great movie.
Yeah, I think John Malkovich was up for an award or won an award for it, so he did
I think so, yeah.
Did a good job. Good psycho job in it.
It is currently streaming on HBO Max if anyone's interested.
There we go.
You have to check that out.
It's a solid one. It's a good Clint non-Western for you.
Yeah.
All right, last one for each of us today.
86.
86. Nate, why don't you round out your...
We could not have lined this up better, and it's kind of funny that this one makes it here. Number 86, No Country for Old Men.
Oh, my God.
So have I gotten over the ending? No.
Yes.
But I think the movie is good enough on its own, minus the last 5 minutes that pissed me off, to make it number 86.
High praise, actually.
It really is. I think it's a testament to the film, how it's shot, the fact that's probably been said over and over again. There's no music in it. It gives a different chilling vibe to the whole movie. And God, just one of those badass villains in a Western, or maybe in any modern films I've seen. I know this is kind of a mixed Western. I think some people call it that, some people don't.
I think it's a Western.
Yeah, but I'll throw it into that category.
It's a Western.
Yeah. But Anton Chigurh, man, sends chills up your spine.
And talk about like a badass weapon that he has. I mean, like, I've never seen that in anything else. Anything even close to that.
No, it's got multiple uses. You can knock fucking deadbolts on a door out on it. You can just kill people with no evidence. And yeah, it's just a super. Yeah, I would love to hear the backstory on how that was written in. Obviously, the Coen Brothers film. So this is kind of airing on the other side of their darker comedies. I mean, this wouldn't even fall into a dark comedy category, but most of theirs have some humor in them. This kind of strays the other direction. But I'd be interested to know how that got put into it. And like, there's got to be some backstory, like someone knew about that, or knew about that device or machine.
For me, two iconic scenes. There's the crunched light bulb scene where Josh Brolin's in the hotel. Yeah. And then, of course, watch the Boshi Revolution, a coin toss.
Oh, yeah, at the gas station with that old man. Yeah. And he's just, like, so confused. And he's like, I don't know what's going on. And, like, the calmness of him when he's on the verge of killing somebody, it was just classic sociopath tendencies. And Barton pulled it off flawlessly. Yeah,
that was, I mean, one of the first, like, real times I remember, like, realizing who Javier Bardem was. Mm-hmm. I was like, this guy's kind of fucking awesome at acting. Might have a career in it.
Yep, number 86.
All right, Banner, what is your number 86 movie? Your number 87 was Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Yeah, really like it. This movie is War for Planet of the Apes. Really, really good. A lot of times, you know, by the time you get to the third movie in a trilogy, especially when it's a reboot, you're kind of like, all right, I'm over it. I think this might be, actually, according to my rankings, this is the best movie in that trilogy. Andy Serkis and Woody Harrelson are just absolutely phenomenal. Woody Harrelson just goes out there and shows that he can be a serious, good villain, where a lot of times you see him in a little bit more of a light-hearted character. He is fucking hardcore in this movie. Again, great way to finish out a trilogy that is essentially introducing us to a world that is run by apes and how we got there. Awesome way to round it out and then kind of leave us in a spot where it can be picked up later on, going down the route more similar to how they did in the originals back in the 70s. Visually, I think it's great, obviously, with all the mocap stuff that they did. Absolutely phenomenal. And I actually thought, is it Timothy Zahn? Is that his name?
Zahn.
Who?
I don't know.
Who does he play?
He plays like the hell, I can't think of it now. Give me a second. Where my keyboard go?
I mean, we obviously have Harrelson.
Yeah, it's not Harrelson. It's,
does he play one of the monkeys?
Yeah, he plays one of the monkeys.
Toby Kebbell?
Steve Zahn.
Steve Zahn. Thank you. Not Timothy. Steve Zahn. It's close. That's how forgettable of an actor he is, except he was really good in this.
Don't talk bad about Steve Zahn.
He's a national treasure.
Yeah.
Okay. Of what nation?
It's none of your fucking business.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the island nations.
Oh, all right. I always forget about those. So yeah, 86, War for Planet of the Apes. I don't think either one of you guys have seen this. I know Geiger did. We did a review on it.
Yeah, with actually one of the better intros of any.
It was a
movie.
good intro, yeah.
But there's like subtitles, so some monkeys are talking.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
My number 86 to close us out is the 2004. A lot of good sports movies tonight. It is the 2004 sports movie Miracle, starring Kurt Russell.
Oh, you love this movie.
Ugh, it's just so fucking good, dude. So the Miracle on Ice, again, the 1984 Olympics, United States versus the Soviets. Nothing I was alive for, or any of us were alive for, but I mean, the call by Al Michaels, lives in infamy on its own. But really, just the story about the roster construction for the United States, how the team was not built to be an all-star team. It was built solely to have players who worked together on the ice and in line combinations that made sense to beat the Soviets' attacking style. And on top of that, you add in the political importance of happening at the height of the Cold War. It's just incredibly well done. Gavin O'Connor, the director, I typically don't like his stuff. Like, he's done The Accountant with Ben Affleck and a few other weird things. But this, I mean, Kurt Russell's perfectly cast. A lot of non-actors actually as the hockey players, like guys that were just straight up hockey players and didn't go on to actually have acting careers, but they're incredible in it. And there's an incredible line in this movie, and I kind of make fun of it when I talk with the Minnesota accent, but Jim Craig, who's the goalie, is going through some shit, and Herb Brooks, the coach, when he finalizes his team, he makes all the players take this aptitude test on paper. And they're all kind of like, what does this have to do with me playing fucking hockey? So Jim Craig doesn't take the test that Herb gave him. And, they're getting to the Olympic qualifiers, and Herb's kind of getting pissed at Jim, who's just not playing, the type of goalie he's capable of. And he tells Jim Craig, he's like, I'm going to bench you for Janusek in net. And Jim Craig has a line, he goes, Herb, is this about your test? If you want me to take your test, I'll take your test. In his Boston accent. And Herb Brooks says, I want to see the guy in net who wouldn't take the test. I fucking love that line. I don't know why. He also has a really good line where he's like, that's my net, Herb. And he goes, you just gave up 8 goals. That's anybody's net. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, good point.
Yeah, you can't take claim to that net at this point.
Yeah. Miracle. Classic.
Coming in hot. 86.
Classic.
Some really good hockey scenes too. Like, we've seen some sports movies where you're like, dude, that doesn't look like the actual sport at all. But
yeah,
I think because they had real hockey players, this one comes across as pretty believable. All right, guys. Closing thoughts for episode 166. Nate, we'll let you go first since you are our back-to-back Jeopardy champion.
Thoughts. Well, winter is coming. That's all I have to say.
You should copyright that. That's good.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else has ever said it before. So
yeah,
might as well.
Wow. I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say after hearing that.
Yeah. Brian, somehow can you find the words as you're mining iron ore or whatever you're doing on that?
It was actually a jellyfish, but it's neither here nor there.
That was a jellyfish?
Yes, that was a jellyfish.
People at home, Brian is so bored with my talking about Miracle that he's playing PlayStation 5 or whatever he has.
Guys, pull over for emergency vehicles, please. Okay? We had an incident this weekend. Everybody did what they were supposed to do. Everybody pulled over. Now, you did have that one dick that was like, all right, I pulled over. I'm getting back, and I'm just going to tailgate the ambulance all the way.
But then lead block, yeah.
Yeah, it's a dick move, but at the end of the day, it's whatever. Like, I get it. You pulled over, you got out of the way, that was your job. Dick move, but I appreciate everybody in my hometown getting over for that emergency vehicle. It's what you have to do. You never know who's in the back of that or whose fucking house is on fire. It could be yours. They're going to your house.
That's true. I don't have anything. I'm kind of over my left turn on the flashy yellow light. It just hasn't really been an issue for me lately. We always try to give driving advice on this show, so people come for their.
Yeah, because we're the best drivers.
if there's someone behind you in the left lane, get the fuck out of the way. There's my advice.
Yeah, there you go.
Left
And get
lane
off your
for passing
fucking
only.
Get off your fucking phone. I can't believe in 2021 how many people still like don't have their phone hooked up to an aux cord. They're like holding it up to their ear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's absurd.
It's like a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Figure it
Get
out.
with the times.
It's disgusting. All right, for the American hero Nate Thurmond and the mad scientist Brian Banner. And she left us, but thank you for participating in Jeopardy, Mrs. Thurman, as well. I am the mayor, Jeff Hornacek, and we
I'd
are
leave us too.
the Force Squad.
I don't blame her.
Brian's like, I'd turn on my PS5. Oh, wait, I already did.
Oh shit.
We are the Bro Force Squad podcast. Be sure to check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, anywhere you get your podcasts. Coming soon, probably to Facebook podcasts. Didn't know that was a thing. I got an email about it this week. So
Yeah, just saw that. I was actually going to discuss when we got off here.
Meta podcast.
what?
Also changing their name.
Didn't Facebook change their name to
Oh,
Meta?
that's right. Yeah. When does that
Okay.
officially happen, by the way?
No
Well,
idea.
I think that they actually didn't do their research and they were like, oh, that sounds good. Let's announce it. And I'm pretty sure there's already a company with that name.
There's probably like 10 companies with that name already.
You would think.
Sounds generic.
You can find us on Letterboxd. If you type in Bro Force Squad as 3 separate words, basically into Google or anywhere on the internet will come up. And you can check out our website and our squad blog with our updated top 100 movies of all time list on our website, broforcesquad.com. Till next time, we'll see you out there on the roads. We will be in the right lane. You know what we're doing.
Yep. Get over.